So hello motivators, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming here. It is a pleasure to have you guys here in Jakarta Motivator Toastmasters regular meeting. I am the president of Jakarta Motivator Toastmasters, and I will be very happy to have you guys here so you could enjoy our meeting. For your information, Jakarta Motivator Toastmasters is a club under Toastmasters International. And our typical meeting consists of 3 main agendas. The first one is prepared speech, second one is table topic or impromptu speech, and the third one is evaluation speech. I hope you guys turn on your camera and mute yourself unless you are prohibited to talk to keep the flow better for us. And this meeting is recorded, so let's make the best out for this meeting and enjoy this meeting. This meeting will be led by an MC, or in Toastmaster, we call it Toastmasters of the meeting. I would like to welcome Toastmasters of the meeting, Toastmaster Redika.
Thank you, Mr. President, for introducing me and for such insightful introductions as well. As Toastmaster of the day, my responsibility includes introducing today's speakers, and then after all the speakers have delivered their speech, I will ask for the timer reports and request ballot counters to be passed to the vote counter, and as well introduce the general evaluator and call on the vote counter for results. I will then return counter of the meeting to the president before we conclude today's meeting. So that's a brief introductions about my roles today. And let me talk further about our today's team. Our today's team is Rethinking Independence Day. As you've seen, this year's theme for Independence Day, Indonesia's Independence Day, is Powerful Indonesia, Growing Indonesia. Well, first and foremost, let me let you know about our today's outlines. It will be divided into three main parts. First, I give an overview, and then the meeting theme for tonight. And I would love to know about our team. That will be further explained by the general evaluator today. First, I give the overview. What will we do today? So today is especially full with prepared speakers. Initially, we have 5 prepared speakers, but unfortunately, Toastmaster Sandra couldn't make it due to other reasons. So we have 4 prepared speakers today. First, we will have me as prepared speaker, and then we have Toastmaster Dentia, we will have Toastmaster Hansel, and we will have a special guest speaker from another country, from India, Toastmaster Abhishek, that will deliver his L2P1 project. So yeah, I anticipate a lot of all the prepared speakers speeches today, and then we will have photo sessions, then we will have table topic sessions that will be open to all guests and members. You guys can participate, and then the last one, we will have evaluation sessions. Because we have 4 prepared speakers, we will have 4 evaluators as well. We will have the Toastmaster DTM Harlina, Toastmaster Astri, Toastmaster Prawira, and Toastmaster Heggi as the evaluators today. And then the meeting will be closed by the presidents. And let's jump to the core part, which is our main theme today. Our today's theme, as I've said earlier, is rethinking our Independence Day. As we know that 76 years old is just mere number in tandem without showcasing the nation utmost tour de force. In terms of human and natural resources, it takes endurance and resilience to attain independence in its utmost essence, which resulted in greater prosperity of its citizens. Those, for the sake of honoring the blood, sweat, and tears of nation founding fathers, we need to make the spirit of evolutions of mind, especially to lead the nation progress for the better. So yeah, let's rethinking Independence Day. Let me first ask a 2 cents from one of Toastmasters here. I would love to know the opinion. What about Toastmaster Garda? What do you think our country can do to grow to be a powerful country as our, as this year in relation to our today's theme, rethinking Independence Day, and our, as well this year's Indonesia's Independence Day, powerful Indonesia, growing Indonesia. What do you think we can do? Our yeah, our country can do. I would love to know your opinion.
Right, thank you, Toastmaster Redika. Well, it seems like I'm in a pageant or something to have a fast thinking regarding this. So, in my personal opinion, in order to have any nations to be developing and growing as citizen or as an individual, all we can do is start to recalibrating our mind in order to what would be the future steps that we can provide to our nations. And not only that, we can also provide also to recalibrate our action by all means that reducing the corruption, also how to settle things there and start collaborating with other people. Because in today's society, collaborations is something that everyone truly look forward to having. And therefore, we're having that kind of mindset where we can collaborate and also put that mindset that all nations can be contributive to one another. And if we can start any simple act and put that kind of mindset, I believe that we can be a developing nations. And not only that, we can also reach the developed ones.
Okay. That's such a deep and profound opinion from Toastmaster Garda regarding our today's theme and this year Indonesia's Independence Day themes as well. Yeah, we need to calibrating so many aspects, especially. And with that, I would love to introduce our word of the day. Our today's word of the day is tour de force. It's a noun. It may sound unfamiliar to some of you. That's why I use this as word of the day, so we can learn to use unusual word, but then you will know the definitions of it. What is it by tour de force? Tour de force is an achievement or performance that shows great skill and attracts admirations. And here the example. Their stage present shows an apparent tour de force. So even though it's such an intricate, such a difficult word, but I believe all of you can make use of the word today in your impromptu speeches, in your speeches in between. So yeah, let's use tour de force. If it pops out on your mind, tour de force, an achievement that especially extravagant or shows great skill, great acumen in certain expertise. So let's just refer to tour de force. So that's the meeting overview about meeting teams today, and I would love to jump to the next part, which is our team that will be further explained by our general evaluator, because the meeting won't be perfect without role takers that take roles in between the meeting. So for the general evaluators of today, Toastmaster Melanie, I would love her to introduce her team today. Do you want to share screen? You told me, can you
Yes, I'll be sharing my screen if you're done. Okay.
I will stop sharing screen.
Okay. So happy morning, everyone. I am Melanie, and I will be the general evaluator for today's meeting. So for the benefit of our first-time attendees or our guests, general evaluator is the one who leads the evaluation session later in this the meeting, and I will not be alone in overseeing our meeting today. So I will be with the following people: the timer, the Ah-WOD counter, the grammarian, and the ballot counter, and as well as the speech evaluators. Since we have a lot of speakers today, I will be the one to explain to you their rules for tonight. And that's, oh, wait. Okay, it's done already. So first, we have Toastmaster Putra. If you can spotlight him, that would be better. So he will be our Ah-WOD counter. As Ah-WOD counter, the ah, the the or those filler words that we use to fill in our speeches, especially that we are thinking, or any long pauses will be counted by Toastmaster Putra. He will also be the WOD counter. It means that he will be also counting all the WODs, or the word, the words that, sorry, how many times we use the word of the day. So our word of the day, like Toastmaster Redika said earlier, it's tour de force. So I thought it's a verb. So no, it's already a noun. It's an achievement or performance that shows great skill and attracts admiration. And it is not equal to a person. So it's something that we can achieve. So so like what she said earlier, so here's the example on how to use the word of the day. At the same time, since we are also in a public speaking community and we are also learning the English language, because not all of us are native speakers, we also have our grammarian. Our grammarian tonight is Toastmaster Gorda. Okay, I forgot the name. Sorry, President. Toastmaster Garden is our grammarian. As our grammarian, he will help us later to correct those the way we use the grammar. And later on, he will be also identifying the gems in our sentences or in our speeches, the beautiful speeches. So I hope that he tried to speak more so that we can make his life a little harder tonight. Thank you, Toastmaster Putra and Toastmaster Garda. Then we also have our timer. Our timer tonight is Toastmaster Nanda. Since we don't like to stay here for until 12 midnight, so we need to time our speeches. And there will be 3 sessions in this meeting. The first one is the prepared speech. Each speech for tonight is timed to 5 to 7 minutes. So if I'm not mistaken, Toastmaster Nanda, are you here? Yes, I hope so.
Yes.
You're going to use your background, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I will
Okay.
use my background.
So in order for you to be eligible to be voted as the best speaker or the most favorite speakers in this session, make sure to hit the minimum time. So Toastmaster Nanda will be showing in her background the following colors for the following time. So for prepared speech, minimum of 5 minutes. Then he will show yellow at 6 minutes and red for 7 minutes. Then if you already see that red background, make sure that you wrap up your speech for 30 seconds. And for the table topic speech, you have 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute is the minimum. Then 1 minute 30 seconds, that will be yellow in her background. And 2 minutes, you have to wrap up your speech for 30 seconds. Then for the evaluation session, for our speech evaluators, you are timed 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes is the minimum. 2 minutes to 30 seconds. Then we also have the last is 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, please wrap up your speech. So in order for us to be thrilled in this session, we also have our ballot counter, Toastmaster Atila. So later, every session, Toastmaster Atila or Toastmaster Nanda first will be telling us if a speaker is eligible to be voted. If he or she is eligible to be voted, Toastmaster Atila will add his or her name in the ballot cast, and we will be voting our favorite speakers. So I think that's my team, and and we also have the speech evaluators to be introduced later by our TOM. We have Distinguished Toastmaster Harlina, Toastmaster Astri, Toastmaster Prao. I believe DTM Allen will not be evaluating anyone anymore. And we also have Toastmaster Heggi. So my team will be seeing you at the end of the meeting to give their report. So I'll give the control back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Dika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. So now, since we have already, since Toastmaster Melanie already introduced her team today, let's just directly jump into the main part, another part, which is the prepared speaker sections. The first prepared speech speaker is me, and I'll be evaluated by DTM Harlina. But before I deliver my speech, I would love the DTM Harlina to introduce my speech.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the meeting, and soon to be prepared speaker, the first prepared speaker. And the purpose of the speech is actually from level 5. In Toastmasters, you have 11 paths, and each path you have 5 levels. So Toastmaster Redika is already at level 5. And the purpose of this speech is to tell what you did when you did a team building event, an event where you try to build it so that the team that you are in is more cohesive, can collaborate more with each other. And you did something technical. I think it's something like an Instagram live show that is for me, who is totally not into Instagram, that is a tour de force for me. But you all did it with your fellow EXCO members. And how did this team building event affect you as a leader? Well, let's hear it from our speaker. The title is called Rocking the Hurdle. Please welcome Toastmaster Redika.
Thank you, my evaluator, DTM Harlina. So yeah, I would love to start my speech today. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. It's the quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And I would love to open with yet another quote from my favorite classic novel, Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. Standing in a person's shoes is one of the first things Atticus explains to Scott in the novel. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb in his skin and walk around in it. But unfortunately, unfortunately, we cannot fully position ourselves on other shoes because everyone's intention is pretty much personal. But at least we can handle them with compassion. When there are things that don't in line with our goals or with our interests, we can always be a compassionate person. So, dear Toastmasters and cherished guests, I have recently done a project called Team Building. It's totally new to me, in which it requires me to conduct an event or a team building event, sort of, for the project completion. My project was the one that I think I could achieve in the near future, which is Motivator Corner episode 2, and the title is Let's Get Acquaintance with Pathways. I want to make good use of my current role to promote awareness regarding the Toastmaster educational program, especially Pathways. It is part of I make it as part of the team building projects in which I encourage my team members to help me to run an event for not only for the benefit of the club, but as well, hopefully it will encourage them as well to to be aware that, this event is benefit others themselves. I mean, all of us especially. So we know what is it pathway profoundly. It consists of 4 people. I pick current ESCOs as part of my team: Toastmaster Hansel, Toastmaster Melissa, Toastmaster Nanda, and Toastmaster Nur. So in this team building project, I ask my team members to evaluate my performance as a team leader. So with their feedback, I can improve to be a better person and a better leader as well. So because I believe all of us here are still learning, right, to be a better person, a better leader, a better human beings overall. So by holding the event and practice team building, at least I gain these 3 lessons that I should work on for my own betterment. And hopefully with these 3 lessons that I will share to you, you can as well learn from it. So you can as well become a better person. So I would love to divide my speech today into 3 core parts. First is the event that I hosted, and the second is the member evaluation after I hosted an event, and then the main part, which is the report of the event, in which what I gained and my experience as a team leader from my project. So first, let me go into the first part. I hosted an event. It's, as I've said earlier, it is Motivator Corner. So this is the summary of the event. I would love to have a glimpse on it. So I had a Toastmaster Hansel as the guest speaker at that time, because I believe he is knowledgeable enough about pathways at that time, and he's suitable to talk about pathways. So yeah, that's why I picked him as a guest speaker at that time. And this is the screen caps as proof that I did the event. And that's my effort as a building, in raising pathways and at the same time practicing team building with my ESCOS member. And the second part is the member evaluation. So after the event completion, I asked my members to evaluate my performance as a leader, and I would love to give one of the evaluation from them. This is from Toastmaster Hansel, who managed to give me an evaluation. For the rest, they have other things that makes them couldn't complete the evaluation, but this one, at least I can get a glimpse at what I should work on. This is not a complete evaluation. Actually, there are like some points that I still need to work on, but because it's just too big for me to show it overall. But yeah, basically I still have some aspect that I really need to pay keen attention on. But basically for the evaluation, this is I learned a lot. And there goes to my main part, the next part, the report from the evaluation and from the events that I've held on 14th of August. From the event, at least I learned, the first one is compassion. Compassion is the quality of having positive intentions and real concern for others. Compassion in leadership creates stronger connection between people. It improves collaboration, raises levels of trust, and enhances loyalty. From this project, especially when we are in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, so it's pretty much not an ideal condition. We need to be considerate, we need to be compassionate, not to put our interests first, but we as well need to be mindful. We need to understand others as well. It requires us a lot of months of compassion. So for example, not all members could participate fully in the team due to work probably or other reasons that of course I can understand it. From this case, I learned not to put, as I've said, not to put my personal goal or personal interests first, but as well to be considered and respect their individual choices, whatever it may be. Like maybe they can participate fully, but they have their strong reasons. Yeah, that we need to understand. I believe we will meet a lot of a lot of, I mean, we will encounter the same situations, and that's what we need to do, is just try to understand their situations. By not taking things seriously, it helps me to focus on what is important and necessary for the project completion. And the second one is set clear purpose and goals. Having a clear purpose and goals since the beginning, as I've personally experienced, it helps me a lot to be more guided in running the project, as goal itself means the desired result of a person or system plans that someone commits to achieve. So yeah, by having crystal clear purposes, by having crystal clear goals, you will be more realistic, and your steps will be more guided, as I've said earlier. And from the event and the evaluation forms as well, my team member complimented that I have a quite clear goals and purposes since the beginning, in which it is, as I consider that it's my strength. That's why I need to keep this value for my future project, if I be given a chance to lead a project, for example. And the last one is be genuine. Oh, before that, I would love to give another points that maybe will strengthen my points, that how important having goals and purposes, by Andrew Senduk. He wrote that by having a goals, it helps us to give direction. First, it gives us directions, and second, it will show progress. It will show tangible progress when you have clear goals, and then it will as well help you prioritize, and as well it kills procrastination. And the last one, it gives us motivation to achieve that certain goal. So that's based on Andrew. That's about the importance of having a purpose, of having a goal. And the last one is that's especially important, just as equally important, which is be genuine. So when you being genuine into something, you can easily move past the rocks, move past the hurdles, because you become thick-skinned. You won't give up easily. You become resilient because you have passion for the work. You have passion to provide value. You have commitment in it and caring for the mission of organizations for the greater good of many. With the genuine intentions, I experience myself. You become, and you have this unparalleled energy, because I know this is not only for myself, that I do it for other good reasons, of course. And again, by holding this event, I deeply realized that we need to truly care about others' needs. Again, it has to do with being compassionate and understand the perspective. I have never known how I perform, and my member evaluation helped me to absorb an important value, which is being genuine. So by being genuine, yeah, I try to remind myself that why I do this at the first place. As I've learned from this, having this quality will help us to give the best out of ourselves, then intentionally work to improve our skills and approaches to become closer to what they are capable of and to what are capable of. So your intention is not only for yourself, but as well for others, all in the service of leading others towards a desirable destination. So all in all, from this team building event or team building meetings or project, if I must say, I have done with my teams on the 14th of August. I would love to emphasize these 3 core lessons again that I've learned. This is that first is compassion. Second, to have clear goals and purposes when you have, say, you have projects, when you run a project or something, and be genuine. Just pour your heart into it, so you know that you have good reasons for doing something. And I have managed to rock the hurdles despite my initial doubts, because of those 3 lessons that I come to ponder at last. So all in all, I would love to close my speech with, let's have our own lesson learned to become a better leader and a better person, a better human being for the greater good of many for the better good of. Let's start for ourselves, but at last it will end with the bigger sphere. So back to taskmaster of the meeting, which is myself. So yeah, that's after my speech. I think hopefully everyone can learn a lesson from it. And let's just now move to another speaker, second speaker, which is Toastmaster Dentia, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Astri. So for Toastmaster Astri, could you please introduce Toastmaster Dentia project?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Tom. And hello, everyone. Tonight, I will be the evaluator for our second speaker, who is Toastmaster Dentia. Toastmaster Dentia will deliver the speech that actually similar with Toastmaster Redika. That is the level 5 project, team building, and this is the second speech. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to practice the skills needed to build a cohesive team and host an event. And the purpose of this second speech is for the member to share some aspect of her experience building a team and leading a team building event. And that's the purpose. And the length of this speech is about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, I think I will call the speaker. So Toastmaster Dentia, not just for fun, Toastmaster Dentia.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Toastmasters, let's answer some questions to begin with. First, type 1 in the chat box if you've attended a team building, be it in the Toastmaster or in your company, and type 2 if you haven't. Now, type 1 in the chat box if you think team building is important, and type 2 if you don't. The third one, type 1 if you love attending Toastmasters meeting, and type 2 if you don't. Now, last questions, I promise. Type 1 if you love chocolate, and type 2 if you don't. Let me see the answers. Oh, interesting. Thank you for your participation. It is interesting to see your answers. Was it fun answering my question? For some, maybe yes, for some not. But then fun was not my intention. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. What I have just shown you was also a type of team building. Why? Simply because I got to know a little bit of something about you, and other people also know something about you. And that's the essence of team building. It is the process of turning individuals into a cohesive team or a group of people that work together in harmony. So in that case, club's weekly meeting can also be considered a team building session, because then when you hold a meeting, you need to gather all your members to make that meetings happen. But then what happens if your members hardly participate in the club's meeting? Does that sound alarming? In my club, SCBD Toastmasters Club, we have almost 40 members. Yes, 40. However, only 50% of the members join the meeting regularly. What happened to the other 50%? Well, as an exco, I felt that situation was quite alarming, and other excos felt the same way. We knew something unusual has to be done. Otherwise, those 50% of the member may not even renew their membership. And October is just 2 months away, if you know what I mean. So in the last excos meeting, we, 7 of us as an exco, agreed that having a special event could be the first step towards a sustainable club. So I volunteered myself to organize the event together with Toastmaster Andika, simply because we have this project to complete, and it's like throwing 2 birds with 1 stone. Why not? And to be very honest, preparing the team building was not difficult at all, because all the excos from the president to the VPM, VPPR, SAA, and treasurers, as well as secretary, work hand in hand, make this event successful. From deciding the dates, contacting all the members individually, making the teaser, reviving the vibes, until deciding what activities we need to present in the team building. All that happened in just 2 weeks. And as the organizer, we even held the meeting 3 times just to ensure everyone is on the same page and technical issue will then be anticipated. So then comes the D-Day. It was on the August of 13th, last Friday. It was the moment of truth. All of us, all the 7 excos, were ready half an hour before the meeting or the event started. And at 7 p.m., when the event was about to start, I could see that 3 people are joining in. Yes, only 3. My heart skipped a bit, because what if they can't come? What if they don't want to come? What if all those what ifs come to my mind? And as I was thinking, I saw another 3 members joining in, followed by 5 more, and finally another 10. And 10 minutes later, 34 of us were in the Zoom ready for the event. I was extremely thrilled, even though it was delayed by 10 minutes. But seeing 80% of the members in the room made me happy. And I could see that the interaction within the members were improving from the first game, which was human bingo, to the second group games, which was superhero in us, to the speech crafting session, until the quizzes time. We spent over 2 hours doing 2 games and 2 groups discussion and sharing session at the end of the session. Indeed, we were having a blast and it was fun. But takeaways from the team building was not just for fun. The activities in the team building helps the member getting to know each other better, working in a small group as well as the big group, and they work together to achieve some goals, which is to win the games. And by knowing more about the people you are working with or the people you are dealing with, you will eventually understand them better. How this affected me as a leader? I felt that when people getting to know each other, they will feel like they belong and they will feel more like a family. And with that being said, I believe that they took something which is more than just about having fun. I can see now people are opening up about their goals in Toastmaster and how they want to achieve it. And as the VPE of the club, I'm gladly to work with them in achieving those goals. I'm sure that everyone in my club or in SCBD Toastmasters Club will strive for progress as an individual as well as a team. And ultimately, we all will grow and glow together. That's all from me. Back to Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dentia, for such an insightful speech. And yeah, through that when we know others better, they will feel like they belong. I would love to underline those sentences because yeah, it's true. We will then move to another speaker, but before we jump to the third speaker, I would love the evaluator of the third speaker to introduce the project. Toastmaster Rao, could you please introduce Toastmaster Hansel project today?
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Toastmasters of the meeting, Redika. So for today's meeting, that Toastmaster Hans are going to deliver a speech about envision mentoring. So the purpose of this project is to share a speech in which the member have aspects in a previous experience as a prodigy. This could be done in the Toastmasters activity or outside of the Toastmasters activity. Without further ado, with the speech, the 5 to 7 minutes, with the speech title, Someone When I Was Younger, I would like to introduce you to our speakers and also the president of this club, Toastmaster Hans.
The first try is the hardest. That is why we need someone who wore our shoes in the past to bridge the experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow motivators, I want to share my experience as a protege of my English teacher in junior high school. Back then, I was a quiet student. I could not even initiate a small talk with my friend. In terms of English, I was good enough for writing and reading, but speaking was not my thing. In the 8th grade, there was an English competition. There were 3 categories: written test, storytelling, and speech. To be a surprise, I was picked by my teacher to represent our school in speech category, not in the written test category. Why? There was no conflict of interest. There was no family relations with him. There was no bribe or something like that. But I was just picked, and I did not even ask him why. I just tried to think, okay, it is my first try. Let's just try something new. So the competition was divided into 3 rounds. The first round for sub-district level, the second round for the city or district level, and the third round was for the whole Jakarta province. And I did the preparation with my teacher. He frequently picked me during lunch break to draft speech together, to review and rehearse. Sometimes I was also called in the middle of lesson of another subject. So he interrupted another teacher and called me. Hi, I need Hansel to practice speech. Okay. But his approach was simple. He did not have any kind of energetic motivational pep talk, just like ambitious teacher. He did not give strict rules in preparation. Even he talked with me in a casual way, just like me talking with my friends, with frequent jokes in Indonesian slang. Imagine what a casual setting, relaxed and chill teacher he was. And here came the day for the first round. I felt that it ran smoothly for me, and I passed this round. The second round would be held in a few weeks after the first round. I expected that. I needed to prepare harder with him. But the truth was not that. He used the same approach, the same chill and relaxed style, without any increment in pressure, without any additional demand. Even I tried to doubt his intention. Like, was he serious about this preparation? Could I make it? But I tried to follow his way. In the day of second round, it ran well too, although I felt that nothing special with me compared to the first round when I felt that I was slightly better than another one. But in the second round, I felt that I was not really better than another competitors. And to be surprised, I passed the second round, so I could go to the final round. And that was the first time that our school could pass to the final round in terms of speech category. Of course, I expected the increment again and again. It did not happen. He was still the same teacher with the same approach. Well, what happened? I felt that I would compete with much better competitors, the students who were speaking English with their parents since they were toddler. How could I beat them? But in the final day, my fear was gone. And in the end, I lost. It was not a climax, but I learned something new. His relaxed and chill approach successfully took my fear of public speaking away. And that was a milestone in my life. He knew that public speaking was horrible for most of students, even for most adults. And he felt it too when he was still a student. So in his mind, he thought that I know that public speaking is fearful. I feel it in the past. And I want to be someone that I needed when I was younger. I want to be someone who can encourage my younger self to enjoy public speaking because it is not fearful. And he did it successfully to me. Although I did not win the competition, it raised the bar for me, and it was a proof that his approach was successfully transformed me to enjoy the world of public speaking, which brings me into who I am today. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow motivators, there are people who are willing to help us because in their mind they say, I want to be someone that I needed when I was younger. So let's connect with them and learn from their experiences in any context. Thank you, and back to our Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hansel, for sharing your childhood experience regarding public speaking. Public speaking used to be my kryptonite as well, but I respect you for keeping yourself evolving by joining Toastmasters as well to improve your public speaking. Next, the last one, we have the last speaker, Toastmaster Abhishek, that will be evaluated by Toastmaster Heggi. Toastmaster Heggi, could you please introduce his project today?
Right. Good evening, Toastmasters. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Right. For tonight, I'm going to be the evaluator for Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Abhishek will deliver his second speech, I believe, on the project of managing time. His pathways is leadership development. For this project, the purpose is for Toastmaster Abhishek to observe his time management patterns. So please welcome Toastmaster Abhishek, the age of nutritionism. The age of nutritionism, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heggi. Good evening, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for having me today in this wonderful session. It's my first time joining a Toastmasters outside of India, and I really, really hope that you all like my speech. Let me start by picking and highlighting one interesting trend on eating patterns of humans. If you think about it, earlier in their days, our parents and our grandparents used to eat food according to culture. But now it is not the case anymore. The food choices are now driven more by science and less by culture. Do you think this is a natural advancement in humans as a race, or just a facade to eventually drive profits for those very few? In the short history of processed foods, if you think about it, there has always been one good nutrient and one bad. And the more of the good nutrient and the less of the bad nutrient was the norm. Be it the saturated fats in the 90s, the cholesterol and the trans fat in the early 2000s, and now the omega-6 fatty acids. There have always been one evil nutrient in our diet so that the marketing companies can exclude them to eventually make it healthy. So today we will be talking about exactly this and how we came to this eventually, and specifically on three aspects. What has happened to our diets? Why is it bad? And what can we do to improve it? The food industry is backed by giant food corporations, and those corporations have been driving these eating habits and patterns since the last century or so. These food giants always wanted us to believe that the nutrients in foods were the sum of its parts, and we can get the best out of each of them by mixing and matching using food processing. The reason why they market it like that is because there was money to be made through that, and that by adding value, they were making money, which was not possible by selling foods, whole foods. We are currently in the age of nutritionism. Nutritionism is basically an ideology which emphasizes and stresses on the importance of specific nutrients and compounds in foods rather than the composition of the food as a whole. All the products on the shelves of supermarkets now are bombarded with health claims and nutritional information, which honestly most of us don't even understand how to read, and which they ironically try to portray even the unhealthiest foods to be very, very healthy. The penetration of those food-like substances is immeasurable in today's world. Grocery stores are now called convenience stores because they sell more convenience and less grocery and whole foods. Let us take some example here. These convenience stores now even sell packaged liquid eggs so that you don't even have to crack an egg in the morning, and God only knows what goes in there. Is this the convenience we want? If you see the ingredient list of that, this is a paragraph of difficult to pronounce organic names of compounds we have no idea about. Another upcoming industry is the mock meat imitation industry, led by Impossible Burgers and Beyond Meat. Everybody's so excited and to eat healthy and tasty meat at the same time without realizing the inherent flaws of imitation food which has plagued our human race for so long. Being a proper vegan myself, I was also initially impressed with this tour de force coming out of years of research and studies. But after my own research, I understood that we are living in an era of capitalism and where everything is driven for profits. Quickly realized how obviously wrong I was to believe in this imitation mock meat system. Now, let me deep dive into the manufacturing process of mock meats for a second. It is made from multiple extracts like soy extracts for protein, potato starch for flavor, blood-like plant heme for color, and methyl cellulose for bondage. I can now tell you that extracting different best parts from different food to artificially manufacture an imitation food and claim it to be healthy is just a lie. It is marketed to the consumers in such an appealing way that the consumer tends to believe that it is good for them and is a sure shot recipe for disaster in the long term. And the reason for that very strong viewpoint is as follows. The wholeness of plant foods is what makes them proper foods. Breaking the plant cell walls, removing fiber, distorting organic compositions to suit the taste buds won't do good to anyone except the food manufacturing value-adding companies. Historically, before mankind even invented food processing, food was always about pleasure, about communal experience of a meal, about the connection with nature, and also about expressing your own identity of choosing what to eat and what not to. But now we're not thinking about that anymore. We're thinking about the calories. We have never been more worried about the food we eat, and not so surprisingly, we have never been more plagued with overnutrition. And now you know why. So with this message in your mind, let us come to some good things which we can do to avoid these dreadful foods. I really like this simple message about the ideal diet of humans in general from this very famous American author, which I personally very like. His name is Michael Pollan, and his message is as follows. Eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. This is simple yet beautiful. I'd like to stress on the word food for a minute. And this word food is the real food and does not include the food which we are supposed to believe. Also, being a vegan, I obviously advocate for a completely plant-based diet. Plant-based diet is always better because as humans, we are anatomically built as herbivores with our long intestines, which is characteristics of all herbivores. Which is required for the plant-based food to extract nutrition to the fullest. And we humans have been living for more than 90% of our existence on just plants before we discovered weapons. I would like to leave you with the message that Popeye was right all along. Spinach, the dark green leafy vegetable, are the healthiest food on the planet, and they offer the most nutrition per calorie. Thank you so much, and back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
You are still muted, Toastmaster Redika.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, for your profound speech, and it inspires us to have a more healthy lifestyle, especially with your enlightening speech. So we have all the prepared speakers delivered their speeches. Now, I would love to know the timer regarding the time eligibility of the speakers today. We are all eligible to be voted before we have another session, photo session.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Redika. Wow, it's toward the force for seeing the speakers deliver their speech. But unfortunately, from 4 speakers, Toastmaster Redika is the one and only who is not eligible to be voted. And the others are eligible to be voted. We have Toastmaster Redika in 12 minutes 12 seconds, Toastmaster Dentia 6 minutes 44 seconds, Toastmaster Hansel 7 minutes 26 seconds, and Toastmaster Abhishek 6 minutes 59 seconds. And I'll share the detail on the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, and we will have a voting session later on. But beforehand, we will have a photo session first. The photo session will be led by Toastmaster Hansel.
Okay, so everyone, we have like 2 pages here, so let's have a good pose twice, okay? Is it okay? This is for the first one. Stay in your pose in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Wait, let me wrap it up first. Okay, for the second page. Oh wait, let's make it 3rd page. Okay.
This Hans, sorry,
yeah, okay.
Some people just open their camera. Probably we could wait.
Okay, we
or
can
encourage them
retry.
to open the camera.
Okay, it is enough time. Okay, this is okay. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, we have one more. So wait, let me move the page. And where is the tool? Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, thank you. Back to our Toastmaster of the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Hansel, for leading the photo session. And we jump to the most awaited session, double topic sessions, in which everyone can participate in the session. Guests, members, I encourage you all to participate, and especially for the guests to improve your public speaking skills. So try these sessions, and this session will be led by Toastmaster Qaiyum. So are you ready, Toastmaster Qaiyum, to lead this session?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then the screen is yours.
All right, everyone. So before I start, I would like to have a little bit introduction. I believe that everyone here know about science. I believe that everyone here know about biology. Now I am here currently as a mutualism concept, where I am here as a table topic master, giving a benefit to all the speakers, and as well as I would know back who are you today. Because I am not introduced by the general evaluator, I would like to introduce myself today as the table topic master for today's session in Jakarta Motivators Club. Now, before I start, I would like to have everyone in the same page of me to have my screen to be shared. Oh, okay, before that, I need to change it into a full screen so that everyone could see it. Now, welcome to Jakarta Motivators Club number 8039. This is the table topic session, and I am Qaiyum. I will lead the sessions to all of you guys. Now, do use the word of the day for today, tour de force. The speakers have 1 to 2 minutes to present their point on the topic given, or the topic that you guys are going to choose later on. And if you are within the time range, you are eligible to be voted as the best table topic speakers. And if you are not in the time range, it's okay, as long that you still deliver your point and people like it, it's okay. The speakers are given 30 seconds to think prior to answer the topic. Now, this is a silence rule in Toastmasters. 30 seconds are not counted, but if it is past already 30 seconds, the time will go on. It will not stop, and it will nothing wrong with that. Now, last but not least, I am a stable topic masters, and as well as the audience, as the spectators, there are no right or wrong to the speakers upon each topic that you guys pick. Now, I can see our speaker Arceus visiting Toastmasters, already volunteering himself to be one of the speakers. Toastmasters Arceus, would you like to unmute yourself and be with me on stage?
Yes.
Right. Now, out of 8 poison that I have today, to rethink about your independent style, which number would you pick?
This is a poison. Yeah, you choose a very dangerous word right there. Because our Independence Day is in the 17th of August, right now 1999. So I'm gonna choose number 5.
All right, number 5 it is.
Huh?
Oh, wait.
Okay, now I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. And your question or your topic are, why should our youth take an active part in our country politics?
Oh my God.
Now, with the word of the day for today, tour de force. Why should our youth take an active part in our country politics?
Okay, I regret
1 to
my
2
decision.
minutes, over to you.
30 seconds to think, right? This is a hard one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're expecting something that is political, inspiring, or even beneficial things from this 2-minute table topic, I would like to say I disappoint you guys because I have no idea about politics and stuff. I'm the least person who watch the news. I only watch YouTube and TikToks. And that is all my life. I never read the news, didn't bother to read the news because everything is so negative. Imagine this. You are having a good, you're having good breakfast. You turn on your TV. You're expecting to hear something good from this world. And instead, you hear about COVID-19, corruption, people are having riots due to political reasons, and etc. I can talk about 2 hours of me complaining about those kind of things. But yeah, youth. Sometimes we youth or young people always commenting on social media on how our political system should be like this, and this. Some people actually took an action and go have a riot, express themselves in front of the in front of the government and everything like that. Well, we should do that, or we shouldn't do that, or maybe nothing at all. To be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm talking right now. But in truth, I ask you again, should the youth take action in a country's political stuff or political actions? I ask you again, is it necessary? Thank you. Oh my God.
Thank you very much to be the first table topic speakers. Now I believe everyone understand why it's not really a topic, but it's a poison to everyone. My table topic today is to make every one of us to rethink again about what is independence to everyone. But then again, it's okay, Toastmasters are chaos, because you done a great job on answering it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have another participants from the floor, and I would like to share the screen. Our second table topic speakers for today, Toastmasters Wira. Toastmasters Wira, I would like to invite you to the stage to be with me answering the topic for today.
Hello, DTM Qaiyum.
Hello there. Now, Toastmasters Wira, accept number 5 because the poison of the politic have been taken. Would you like to pick another number?
Número 3.
Okay, number 3 it is. All right. With the word tour de force, the topics are going to ask you, who is your favorite national leader and why? With 1 to 2 minutes, with the word tour de force, over to you.
Give me 10 youths and I will shook the world. That is a quote from our first president, Soekarno. To me personally, Insinyur Soekarno, our first president, is one of the leaders that I really look up to. Why? Because of his charisma. As a public speaker, I love listening to his speech. The guy was well educated. The guy can speak several languages, which is something that my parents really tell me to, hey, you have to learn several languages, because back in the day, people can speak 5 to 8 foreign languages. He has not only English book or Indonesian book, he had Dutch book, German book, and a lot. I mean, he has a lot of books. He was a really smart guy. And not only that, the guy was considered a playboy. Basically, kind of like Bruce Wayne, but not. I don't know if he was like a crime fighter, but he's not a crime fighter, but he was a leader and a playboy as well. But I'm not looking at the playboy part, but I'm looking at his charisma as a leader who's really good at talking to people. Historically, I remember reading stories about him working with two sides of the Cold War, the Soviet and the America. I like that. I like that story, and that's the reason why Senior Soekarno is one of my favorite national leaders. That's all from me. Back to you, TTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters Wira. I can see President Soekarno have influenced you much on your life today. And as well, I can see Justin Trudeau are being mentioned on the chat box down below. Please continue why you like him. Now, I would like to go for another speakers. Our guest for today, Guest Allen, are you ready to be with me on the stage?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. And your topic for today need to be picked first. Would you like to pick any number other than 5 and 3?
I'd go for number 7.
You go for number 7. All right. 1. I'm sorry, it's always going back there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. All right. Going to share my screen. Now, your question or your topic for today. What is your most memorable Independence Day celebration? Now, before you answer me during the COVID-19, nah. I don't want to hear that. I know you're going to say staying at home. Bring me and bring everyone here to the years way before the virus got. 1 to 2 minutes with the word true or false. Over to you.
Wait, let me think for a little bit. Okay, my independence celebration is always at school. It's never been anywhere else but school. It's never been anywhere else but school. So, as usual, as you might have already know, as you might have already experienced, wait, did you hear that? Wait, can I redo that?
Yes, please.
Okay, wait, okay, let me redo that timer, please. Okay, so as you all might have already experienced, we do independence celebrations at school. They have makan kerupuk celebration, lompat sarung, and other basic stuffs. And to be fairly honest with you, I've never actually really participated in one of those competitions, and I would just stand in the side and watch my friends do those competitions. But the only competition I've ever participated in is tarik tambang, because my class doesn't really have people to participate in the competition. So yeah, I don't really have much to tell. I don't really have much story, and yeah, that. Okay, back to you.
Thank you very much, our guest Allen. Now I know tarik tambang is a tug of war game. What a very good one. And in my days during celebrating Independence Day, we do what always everyone do, I guess, which is raise the flag in front of their home, in front of their hostels, and singing along together with the national anthem or any other independence song. Now, I would like to invite our next table topic speaker. Let me go, Toastmasters Astri. Wow, Toastmasters Astri. Would you like to be on the stage with me?
Sure, Toastmaster Qaiyum.
All right, now, with the number 537 attacking, please choose your number.
537.
Yeah, other than that.
Okay, I choose 1.
You choose number 1. Which is currently in your situation too, as a leader. Now, if you were a leader who fought for independence, what would you have done differently? if you were a leader who fought for independence, what would you have done differently? With 1 to 2 minutes, with the word tour de force, the stage is yours. Over to you.
Talking about leaders and also independence, we might think about some of the big things that we must do in order to fight the independence. But for me, what I can do as just a person might be, as a leader, I will give the care as a different approach to all the people. I mean, because if we want to vote something, yes, we can do so much effort. But if we don't give our true heart, we don't give our caring to the others, might be they only feel pressure, not really want to do something. So like I tried to do in my club, even though I'm the area director, not the club president, but I tried to say to the people to give my caring, what are they doing, especially for the exco, especially for the VPE and also the VPM. What are they thinking about this? What are they thinking about that? And how they want to improve for that? I really want to show them that I care about them. So at the end, they will serve as their own caring. They really want to serve because they care to each other. So at the end, when we got the result, or the, let's say we said about DCP and others, so we really want to make it not only forced to do it, because we really care that we want to improve each other and be better in this organization. So for me, that's what I want to do differently with the care. Thank you. Back to you, Qaiyum.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters Astri. By listening on what you have on the floor and the stage today, I can see why people pick you as area director for your own district. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have the next person. For me, he is special. Distinguished Toastmasters Allen. Distinguished Toastmasters Allen, would you like to be with me on the stage?
Hello.
All right. Now, I would like to have you pick your poison.
Number 4.
All right. Number 4 it is. Oh, this is another one. I'm sorry. Why is the several topic?
Okay.
All right. Now the question or the topic for you are, today we are independently interdependent. Today we are independently interdependent. With the word tour de force, with 1 to 2 minutes, over to you.
So good evening, everyone. I remember back in the olden days, probably when we talk about the 50s, 60s, 70s, a lot of people are fighting for independence. And it's during those times that people fought for freedom. They fight for their own rights in many, many different ways. And times have passed when it comes to right now, where we don't talk so much about independence, we talk about collaboration. Business has evolved to a point where they no longer stand by themselves. They work together with each other, they collaborate, they help each other to cover up for each other's weaknesses, and they strive on their strength. Independently interdependent, I think this is one of the apt way to describe our current situations right now. Whether it is from a national level that everybody wants to achieve independence, but we also try to support each other. Whether it's during this time of pandemic where we try to support each other by providing resources, or even looking at import exports of staple foods, or even when we look at helping each other in terms of tourism, or even at our corporations right now, where two different companies come together and work for a better cause. You and your neighbor no longer fight for the land. Now you probably plant some orange and apple and you share with them, hoping for a barter trade to get some durian, if you are one lover for that. How I look at it is, as much as we fight for independence in the earlier days, now we strive for collaborations. Which one is right? I think it all depends on which time we live in. For me, I strongly believe that right now it's all about collaboration. It's all about depending on each other. Because if you're going by yourself, there's only so far that you can go. But if you go in a group, probably you'll be able to exert somehow in the end, show tour de force, not sure whether I use it correctly, but you're going to show more strengths in number. Sports athletes, they come together and show bigger strengths. We as individuals, today we have 35 of us. We want to learn by ourselves, and yet we try to rely on each other and get peer-to-peer feedback. I think this itself is already one interdependent learning platform. So that's how I see it. Thank you very much, and I would like to hand it back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters Allen. Now, that's why this topic suits you. And I now understand where you are right now is by the way you're speaking. I believe you've done it very correctly. Doing a collaboration, you can achieve more. Doing by yourself, you can only what you want. Now, I would like to have another speaker, Toastmasters Heggi, with me on the stage.
Yes, sir.
All right, Toastmasters Heggi, with the question number 5, 3, 7, 1, and 4 already taken. Pick your poison.
So I'll go with 8.
Number 8 it is. Oh no. Okay, this is one. Right, Toastmasters Heggi, which is the most memorable trip that you took during the Independence Day long weekend? Which is the most memorable trip that you took during the Independence Day long weekend? Now, once again, do not talk to me about the COVID-19. During that time, I know you're going to be at home. 1 to 2 minutes, tour de force as the word of the day today. Over to you.
To be completely honest, I don't really think I go a lot during the Independence Day. I mean, it's only 1 day holiday. And if it comes at a long weekend, it's really good for everyone. Like right now, I even take a 1 week annual leave, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm at home. But before the COVID-19, of course, I guess the thing that I enjoy a lot during the Independence Day is actually watching the flag raising ceremonies. I'm not sure how they call it in English. In Indonesia, we call it paskibraka, the squad that raised the flag. I have never been, I'm not interested. But it always good to see people spend their effort, spend their time to do what they love for the country. I mean, when you become the squad, the flag raising squad, you're going to train for hours, for days, for months probably. So it's always good to see them actually get the chance to perform in front of the president. Another thing is looking at the flag actually being raised properly with the song and everything. It always moved my heart. I mean, I believe it's for all of us. If we looking at a flag of our country raised beautifully, it will be something we always will always be engraved in our mind. So yeah, I don't really go, but I'd love to someday be able to actually join the flag raising ceremony at the palace. Thank you. Back to table topic master.
Raising a flag by the army, I would say, or by the people. Wow, what a very great moment that you have over there. Now, I would like to say, with the flag have been raised by the people, my session ends here. And keep the flag raised up high and rethink again to everyone in my session today, what is Independence Day means to you. And with that, by wearing the red or maroon shirt that I have today, happy Independence Day to all fellow Indonesian. And with that, back to our Toastmasters of the meeting, Toastmasters Redika. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Qaiyum. Yeah, happy Independence Day to all of us. It's such engaging sessions as expected of you. And before we jump into another sessions, let's have a voting session. And I would love to ask about the time eligibility. Are all the impromptu speakers eligible to be voted?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Redika. Yes, to support our Independence Day, I wear especially red and white as our flag. And congratulations for all speakers in table topic session because all of you are eligible to be voted. First, Toastmaster Arceus. I don't know how to spell because since I'm Indonesian, I call Arceus. 2 minutes 23 seconds. Then Toastmaster Wira, 1 minute 55 seconds. Soon to be Toastmaster Allen, 1 minute. And Toastmaster Astri, 1 minute 43 seconds. DTM Allen, 2 minutes 17 seconds. And Toastmaster Heggi, 2 minutes 8 seconds. And I'll share on the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. So meaning all of the speakers are eligible, right? So let's have a voting sessions and as well for the prepare speaker sessions as well. Let's just vote for two best speakers, prepare speaker and impromptu speaker. So we will have 1 minute of silence to vote for the best of them. So please cast your vote as the ballot counter already distributes the link, the poll for us to vote. So do vote your favorite speakers. And we will have another sessions after this, which is evaluation sessions that will be led by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Melanie.
Yes.
For Toastmaster Melanie, I think you can start your evaluations session.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Dika. Happy morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm back. We are already in the evaluation session. This is the heart of the Toastmasters program. And for our guest here, without the evaluation, I believe that the Toastmasters will not progress like this, and nor we would be better speaker or role takers compared to our last. So there are basically 3 smaller parts in this session: the speech evaluations, role takers evaluation, and later my general evaluation. So without further ado, let us open our ears, our hearts, and listen to our speech evaluators, starting with DTM Harlina. She will be evaluating Toastmaster Dika's speech. Distinguished Toastmaster Harlina, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. So I will evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Redika, in which she is reporting about her team building project that she has conducted with her fellow EXCO members. And what I like about her speech is how she explained what she learned from this speech and also how it affected her. She gave 3 points and she gave a summary. It was a bit fast, maybe because there was a lot of things to say. I think maybe if you feel that you have to speak a bit fast, it means that there is a lot of material to cover for 5 to 7 minutes, and unfortunately, if that is the case, then you need to cut. And I think one of the ways you can cut is actually the beginning. So in the beginning, you did mention 2 quotes. I think you just keep it to 1. The one in which you talk about walking in someone else's shoes that you got from a book, You Have to Kill a Mockingbird. And then you just say, and to paraphrase it, if people don't have your own share the same point of view with you, you just use compassion. So you do not need to quote the whole thing. You just say, I paraphrase, so you can keep it shorter. And yeah, I think that is something that you can find out by yourself if you rehearse and try to keep your speech within time frame. Then you can say, oh yeah, I can cut this, I can cut that. It does hurt a bit to cut speech that you have been writing with a lot of passion, but sometimes it needs to be done. And I do like the 3 points that you mentioned. Yeah, you talked about compassion, about goals, and about being genuine. I think that was great, but I think it should be a little bit more specific. Yeah, being genuine. I think you meant being genuine in helping for the greater good. Yeah, not just helping yourself, but helping others, which is in this case the members of your club. Yeah, with your project. And I think, yeah, I think the project itself is very interesting, and I actually saw the project. I saw the Instagram. Well, I saw it after the facts, because we can actually still see the project of Toastmaster Redika on the Instagram account of Motivators, and it was a very interesting project. Yeah, I think the same thing is still also with the project, to rehearse, to have a dry run, whether it is your project or whether it is your speech. But at least I learned a lot from your speech, so that is great. So thank you very much, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Harlina. I love how you were able to identify that long quote from her speech, and at the same time, you were able to give it. I think it's really hard to evaluate someone, especially if they got very long time. But yeah, you were able to say it to Toastmaster Dika, and to help you improve your evaluation next time, I would like to hear like summary at the end for your evaluation. But nonetheless, it was a good evaluation, Toastmaster Harlina. Now let us continue with our next evaluator, Toastmaster Astri. She will be evaluating Toastmaster Dentia. So Toastmaster Astri, the screen is yours.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Toastmaster Dentia, congratulations for completing your project and also sharing the story for us. It's not just for fun, but I believe it was really fun. Why? Because you delivered us that we can see that how fun the team building that you made that time. And I believe we can see that how fun it is by your speech, because you already make the speech with the very nice engagement. You give us the question at the beginning, that's very nice. And also your tone, you show the excitement since the first of your work, and that's very good. And the last, your structure was also very good, because you tell us about the current condition as the reason for you doing this project, and also you explain the activities and also explain the results. So it makes us can absorb all the point of your presentation. And I think I can say that's perfect, Toastmaster Dentia. However, I really want to help you to improve in the next performance, because I spot 3 points that you might want to improve. The first one is about the use of your virtual background. Somehow your virtual background makes your hand gesture disappear when you talk. So you can make sure it before your performance. And the second is your positioning, also the moving. I believe you standing, that was very good. However, you are not maintaining your step in the center. Somehow you go to this side or that side, and somehow you are disappeared from the screen. So make sure you are still the center of our stage. So that's the second point. And the third is, I believe that a personal story is very good for us to share. That is your personal story to leading this project. However, it will be better if you can also make your story as our story or audience story. So instead of you just saying, it's not just for fun at the end of your speech, you can actually make it as the audience story. So you can say that, how about you, anyone? Do you think you also need the team building? You might, if you need it, you might want to do it. And at the end, you not get only for fun, but you can also build your team. So you can make any variation of it, but make the story as the audience story as well. I think that's all from me. You already did great. Only need to see more on the detail of your project. So this Master Dentia, it's a pleasure for me to evaluate you, and I'm looking forward for your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Astri. It was a very friendly delivery of your evaluation, and it was light. So you may want to consider to lessen the hand gestures, especially in virtual setup, because the more that you do the hand gestures and change it too fast, it becomes pixelated. And at the same time, the virtual background also eats your hand gestures, so we don't see them clearly. But nonetheless, it was a good evaluation. Also, Toastmaster Astri. Thank you. And let us now proceed with our next evaluator, Toastmaster Prao. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Hans' speech. Toastmaster Prao, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator Melanie. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially Toastmaster Hans, congratulations for your tour de force of this speech. It's about mentoring and your experience as a mentee in the past, and you deliver it as a speech in your junior high school experience. Usually the evaluations will be started with what you excelled at, but now I want you to hear about the challenge first and what you need to improve. I believe that this speech is mainly about storytelling. And in the storytelling, the main important things is about how did you introduce and build the characters in your speech. The maximum characters that you can build is actually 3 characters, including yourself, if you are in the story or if you are in the speech. I noticed that the main characters, which is in the enough number, your teacher and yourself. However, I want you to build these characters in the storytelling by grabbing the audience attentions in just one of the sentences about how these characters profile and how these characters will impact the whole of your sharing experience or the whole of your stories. So the emotional bonds about these characters will be easily developed and the audience will digest it easily. And I also want you to work with hand gestures and body language. I've seen some of your speech in the past, and since that we are in the COVID-19 and pandemic situations that we are get used with the online meeting, we are rarely to do the old school ways of speaking, which is in the standing positions. You might want to have more preparations, maybe in your layout of the room or with your equipments to make sure that the screen is capturing at least the half of your body. So you can see your face, you can see your hand gestures here. That will help you to deliver the message and the structures of the speech. And also, there are many stories to tell, and there are many stories to be spiced up, even in the contents yourself. And to challenge yourself in the future, I want you to tell some jokes. Make it fun. Make it like the spices of the happiness. Find excitement with the jokes. You might want to work on this, and this is a challenge for you because I rarely hear it from you about the jokes or the fun or the comedy part. Well, if you're confused, the easiest one is at least you can make fun of yourself because it will not hurt others' feelings, and it's just about you. The fun part is just about you, and we would like to hear about it. So that was the challenge that I want you to improve in the future. And now, what is the thing that you are really excelled at? First one, which is the example for the other speakers here, is the constant energy of Hans. I think the energy was kind of constant, yeah, and continuously not in the ups and downs energy. And I like his voice, deep voice and very convincing intonation. And intonation also been supported by tempo, comma, and period, which is a good pause when you are doing the storytelling. So Toastmaster Hans, congratulations for your sharing experience as a mentee and also your past mentor. And I really hope that this story could be a good motivations for the mentoring part in the Toastmasters activity. I'll give the control back to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prow. Affirmation or affirming the speaker, saying congratulations. That actually, at least that word, congratulations, that uplifts the speaker's soul, right? Whenever they hear congratulations, you actually said it with sincerity. I believe that there's really a reason why we are using sandwich method and evaluations. Maybe we have to review that one because during the time that you evaluated, you focus on the challenges of Toastmaster Hans, but I also see that you also identify the positives of of Toastmaster Hans. But yeah, so and also you may want to consider looking at Toastmaster Nanda's beautiful video to see the time as well. So that's it, Toastmaster Brown. Thank you for your evaluation. And let's now proceed to our last speech evaluator. Toastmaster Heggi. He will be evaluating Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Heggi, the screen is yours.
Right. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Melanie. First of all, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Abhishek for coming here far away from India, I believe. I hope it will become a wonderful collaboration between Toastmasters in Indonesia and Toastmasters in India in the future. Right now, going to your speech. First of all, what I like the most about your speech is how it is very informative. You start with how we view foods initially we view it in a traditional way. We eat supported by our tradition, but now it shifted into more nutrition. So you go with the age of nutritionalism, where we are looking at foods not only in the tradition sense, but also how it will benefit us. And your speech is very informative, lots of information in there, how the food technology is shifted, how the food now might be perceived differently from before, how we process food is much different from before. And you also maintain a very good eye contact with the audience. It might be a slightly lower, but I think you focus in front. You are not looking around or like looking at notes or something like that. It's a very good practice. But to improve on your speech, I find several things based on my observation. First is the pacing and vocal variety. Probably it's because your speech is very packed with information. You are trying to convey lots of idea into us. So the pacing is a bit fast and the vocal variety is a bit flat. So this is something that can be improved at some points where you want to really enforce a point. You can change your vocal variety, take it down a notch and let people absorb that idea. And secondly, again, it's about the speech content, which is very packed. And last is your project is about time management or managing time, but I don't find anything in your speech that are talking about time management. Although in terms of speech, you delivered well and you don't pass the allotted time. To challenge yourself on the future, for this kind of speech, I believe it will be beneficial if you use a few visual aids to help convey and enforce the idea. Because there is lots of things we're talking about, the food, the technology, the shift of paradigm. It will be good if you have certain visual aids that can help us understand more, especially on a difficult language or difficult topics. All right, thank you. That's all from me. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Heggi. So welcoming message to our to Toastmaster Abhishek. So that was really friendly, and you delivered the speech as if you were talking to him face to face. And I saw also the sandwich method in your evaluation. Thank you, Toastmaster Heggi. So may we have the timers report? Are all our speech evaluators eligible to be voted?
Yes, Madam GE, for the evaluation session, only Toastmaster Prow who is not eligible to be voted. Toastmaster Prow's time is 4 minutes, 4 seconds. And for DTM Harlina, it's 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Toastmaster Astri, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. And Toastmaster Heggi, 2 minutes, 43 seconds. Sorry, and back to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. So for our ballot counter, please prepare for the ballot. Okay. So while waiting for Toastmaster Atila, okay, there it is already. So please click the link and vote for your favorite evaluator. So speech evaluations are not only for the prepared speech speakers. It is also it is actually addressed to everyone here. So, and may their evaluation be a reminder to what not to do and what to do in our future speeches. So let's now go on to the second part of the evaluation, the role takers evaluation. So let us start first with our Ah-WOD counter, Toastmaster Putra. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie, and good evening, everyone. I believe today is a good meeting because I found out that there is very less and I nearly cannot find unnecessary sound that you have made. I believe that only 1, 2, 3, or 3 of speaker that using unnecessary sound. And it's a good job for all of the speaker for today's meeting. And it's make me questioning my existence here. But absolutely, it's not a easy work because I need to hear very carefully. Either you are not making unnecessary sounds, or my ear is doing wrong. But to wrap up of this evaluation session about unnecessary sound, I just want to say all of you have a good speech for today. And next, I want to appreciate to those who using our WOD today, and absolutely for all the role takers using this WOD to introduce the WOD to make a reminder, and also me. And there are 3 speakers that using our WOD. That is Toastmaster Pro, Toastmaster Abhishek, and Toastmaster Allen Ang. Thank you for using WOD, and I encourage all of the speaker for the further meeting for using WOD more frequently. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Melanie. That's all for me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Putra, asking for existence. So deep, right? So Toastmaster Putra reminded everyone, actually, sorry, I'm already giving my evaluation for the role takers, yeah. So for Toastmaster Putra, he reminded everyone to use word of the day, tour de force via chat box. Good way to remind everyone, especially that he has no speaking time during the early part of our session. And he has given us a good report. I I just want to know, does that mean that the speakers today has less than, let's say, 5 or no filler sounds? Toastmaster Putra?
I believe there is every speaker maybe one or nothing.
Wow, and that's
One or nothing.
awesome. Thank you,
Only
Toastmaster.
3% that I not here that is using one unnecessary sound. So I think it's maybe not what
Necessary to say.
not
All right.
necessary to say. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Putra. Now, let us go to our grammarian, Toastmaster Garda, for his report. Toastmaster Garda, the screen is yours.
Thank you, GE. So happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Before I start, I would like to encourage everyone, please turn on your camera. And I only have one rule: to be active and to participate during my class, because don't worry, I won't bite lah. I will just be a very friendly English teacher for today's session, okay? Turn on your camera, and you can freely participate into the chat box later, okay? Okay. So, to break the ice for the first session, can I have everyone to type into the chat box? Please type 1 if you think that this is correct, or type 2 that this is incorrect. Come on, 2. Okay, 2. So many 2, yeah. Okay. Okay, 2. Thank you so much, yeah, for your participation. But I think for those who are answering 2, you may not know the answer yet, yeah, why it is incorrect. Okay, so based on my research from the Cambridge Dictionary, so call upon something is actually means to ask formally for someone to do something. So I heard someone say, let's call upon Toastmaster Redika, for instance. Please, Toastmaster Redika. So it should have been, let's call upon Toastmaster Redika to introduce the speaker. So it has to be clear what would be that person whom we call upon the screen to do something, to do what? So to introduce the speaker, don't forget to insert that, yeah, in our conversation, okay? And next, to all sessions that I noted throughout the sessions. So first thing first, again, please type 1 if you think that this is correct, or type 2 that you may think that it's incorrect. Come on, type 1 or type 2. Just one, 2. Okay, 1. Thank you, Nanda. 1, Dentia. Okay. Yes, thank you. Anyone? Okay. So again, from my search from Merriam-Webster Dictionary, will is used to express future actions decided at the moment of speaking. But going to describes future plans decided before the moment of speaking. Because the context of the speaker said this sentence, we will have 4 speakers. These 4 speakers were actually decided prior to the meeting. So it should have been, we are going to have 4 speakers, because these 4 speakers are not having an impromptu speeches, right? Because all of those speakers are actually prepared speech speakers. So don't forget to use are going to instead of will, okay? And next, someone said, as you are seeing, but that speaker referred to the slides. So it is about the slides that was highlighted. So it should have been as shown on your screen, not you, because you means the audience would be the objects that were highlighted, okay? And next, someone said speakers are eligible to be voted. Don't forget that we use the passive verb here, the passive form. So it should have been speakers are eligible to be voted. Don't forget to use that, okay? And next, someone said, to be a surprise, I was picked by. So maybe because you have, you want to emphasize or you want to highlight about that you were picked by the other person. So surprisingly would be a better form to elaborate or to explain that you were picked by other person. And someone said, I think I could, but the context was in the past. So remember, consistency is the key. Don't forget about parallelism. So it should have been, I thought I could, blah, blah, blah. And next, someone said, in the D-Day of second round, that the speaker was mentioning about one specific moment. So it should have been on the day of second round. And next, someone say, what I want to do differently. But the context and the speaker would refer to something that had happened in the past, and you wish to change it, but it's no longer feasible. So it should have been what I should have done at that time, or something that you wish to change, and what I've done better. You wish I could have done this, that, something like that. And someone also said that from this event or meetings, well, the context is about the singular, so just eliminate the S from this event or meeting. And about the lexical resource, someone said, so first, let me start with blah, blah, blah. It is actually correct, but in order to enhance our vocabulary, we can also say, firstly, allow me to blah, blah, blah. Or to begin with, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And also someone said, the evaluation is too big. This is actually correct. But you may also say, the evaluation is sizable or immense, because the speaker referred to the scale or the size of the evaluation form, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, something like that. And I heard some captivating words from the speakers, but due to the time constraints, I only have 3 on my mind. The first one from Toastmaster Dentia said, by knowing the people whom we are working with, they will feel that they are belong. Thank you, Toastmaster Dentia. And second, Toastmaster Hans said, there are people who are willing to help, so let's connect with them and learn all together. And lastly, from DTM Allen, right now, it's time to strive for collaboration. Thank you so much. And that is all from me. I give the control back to our GE.
Thank you, Teacher Garda. So our doctor turned to teacher. So it was really an insightful, enthusiastic, and engaging way to learn the proper English language usage. Thank you to Toastmaster Garda for that detailed report. So let us now go to timer. Okay, I thought they are waving to me anyway. Sorry. So Toastmaster Nanda, do you want to say something for your timer's report? No more. And okay, so our timer, Toastmaster Nanda, with her usual bubbly personality, delivered her report concisely. Your background was visible all throughout, and you may want to also remind the speakers via chat box, just in case they go beyond the time. This is also a question to all the Toastmasters. What would you do if a speaker goes beyond, let's say, if it's 7-minute speech, it goes beyond to 8-9 minutes? So you just think of that. You can share your answers in the chat box, because me too, I don't know. So there, thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. And to our ballot counter, Toastmaster Atila, you will be delivering your report after this. But I already want to thank you for accepting the role, even though there is not much speaking role in this in this role. So thank you, Toastmaster Atila. So now let's go to our general evaluation. So I will speak really fast, yeah. So the meeting started on time at 7:30 p.m. And the president, or Toastmaster Hans, as the president of the club, opened the meeting and reminded everyone of the rules during the meeting. It was passed smoothly to the Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Dika. And our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Dika, explained the theme of today's meeting and the agenda as well. She shared the agenda of the meeting in the chat box, so I hope that you have seen it. And I love it when she asked the audience participation in answering her question, what do you think Indonesians must contribute to our country? As the TOM, Toastmaster Dika was able also to give a short feedback or statement or two to each speaker before she shifted to the next speaker. Now, for our president and Toastmaster of the meeting, you are the face of the meeting. Therefore, you set the tone of the meeting. So please consider my humble recommendations. First, you have chosen the theme of the meeting, which is rethinking of the Independence Day. How did we rethink or recall the country's Independence Day during the meeting, aside from the table topics? And I hope that you also have the same level of energy as like with your members, like for example, Toastmaster Nanda in welcoming the members. Nonetheless, it was a good start. Then we go on to our prepared speech session, we indeed have a jam-packed schedule. When I got the agenda, I thought that the club would be having a speakathon for having 5 speakers. Oh no. And our prepared speech speakers delivered amazing, diverse topics from team building to mentoring to nutritionism. So I don't know if that's even a word. So yeah, to help improve our speeches in the future speakers, let us try to maximize our time and also our virtual background. I think that's it for the prepared speech session. Now, inhale, exhale. Table topics. Toastmaster Qaiyum, as our table topics master, was lit tonight. I think not only tonight, but every time that he takes a role. He gave a short orientation before he starts his session. He set the tone for the session assigned to him. You were comfortable in your role, actually, Toastmaster Qaiyum. Even though there was technical difficulty, I did not feel the pressure that, oh no, you know, sometimes you can feel that as an audience, but no, you were actually lit, and you make it comfortable also to us. And good that we have volunteers tonight. You might want to encourage also the guests to challenge themselves in delivering the impromptu speeches, and encourage also those who have no speaking roles to try this session. Nonetheless, your session was full of topics that made us think critically and recall our past celebrations as well. And maybe this is just a reminder for everyone, most especially for our dear visiting Toastmasters. I think we have to reevaluate ourselves if we have been too over familiar to a community. You know that? So, because over familiarity breeds complacency. So we are also expected, since this is not our home club, or we are just visitors, we are also expected to be respectful of the rules of the club and to identify ourselves properly. And thank you, Jakarta Motivator Toastmasters Club, for opening your club tonight to everyone to deliver their speeches and evaluation. And also for the guests, the team has communicated well to us. If you happen to notice, we have the GA explained, so I have a lot of there. Please take note of that, Toastmaster Putra. The team has communicated well to me as a general evaluator to make sure that all things are set and oriented me that I have to explain all the roles tonight. The reason is to lessen the transition time and to accommodate all the speakers. And thank you for all the speakers and the role takers for making our night worthwhile. Back to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Dika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie, for your detailed evaluation. You give out pretty much the minute detail of each roles that I believe each of us can learn from it. And due to time constraints as well, I would love for the ballot counter to announce to unlist the result of the voting.
All right, thank you so much, our Toastmasters of the meeting, Toastmaster Redika. Hello, everyone. I am Atila, and tonight I will be serving as your ballot counter. Thank you so much, our GE, for explaining the role at the beginning. So, without further ado, we believe that this is the most weighted session, right? So, by this time, I will be helped with Toastmasters hands to announce. So, we now come directly to our first session, which is the best prepared speaker. So help me drum roll, please, everyone. Just to Toastmasters Abhishek, yay! Congratulations. And now moving on to the second session, which is the best table topic speaker. So help me drum roll, guys. DTM Allen Ang. He's not here, but that's okay. Congratulations for the winners. And then the last session, our favorite evaluators goes to Toastmasters Astri Utami. Congratulations to all the winners. Looking forward for your future speech, and back to you, Toastmasters of the meeting. Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations to all the winners. You guys deserve it as you showcase such an evident tour de force. All in all, thank you everyone who come today, and please do come again to our meetings for guests especially. And I would love to give the control back to the president of the club, Toastmaster Hansel, that will further announce about the club.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Redika. So we are approaching the end of the meeting, and I would like to have a quick word from guest, perhaps just one sentence. Let's see from soon-to-be Toastmaster Rahayu. Do you want to give like one sentence, perhaps, regarding our meeting or your expectation? Rahayu Nur Aziza, would you please? Okay, perhaps another one. Let's have some word from, how about from Ellen Ruth?
Yeah, it's been my, I don't know, various times in Jakarta Motivational Club. Yeah, Jakarta Motivator Club. I'm really sorry. Yeah, it is a fun meeting as always. I love the vibe. I love how everyone is participating, and I love how people just rebutan to do table topics. So yeah, I enjoy the meeting all in all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, soon-to-be Toastmaster Ellen. And for information, okay, after this, we will close the meeting and then we will stop recording, but there will be a casual setting if you want to continue, so feel free to stay or leave. It's up to you guys. And I would like to thank to all visiting Toastmasters here who helped us in lighting up the meeting. And perhaps you can give some words, and also you can promote your club in our chat box, perhaps from Toastmaster Garda.
Oh, thank you, President Hans. So I thought that I'm just typing into the chat box, but yes, thank you for the opportunity. So happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. So I'm from, and my fellow Toastmasters from SCBD Toastmasters cordially invited to our regular meeting that will be this Friday at 7 p.m. Jakarta time. And as we will also commemorate the Independence Day of Indonesia, and yeah, you can register to the link as provided, and you can follow our Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garda. Perhaps from Toastmaster Astri.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. President, to give the opportunity, and hello everyone. So don't forget, if you have any free time on the Saturday morning, you can come to Universitas Indonesia Toastmaster Club, and I will give the link after this in the chat, or maybe Toastmaster Putra want to help me to give the link. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Astri. Next, let's have Toastmaster Qaiyum.
Wow, I was not expected to be invited that fast. But then again, thank you very much, our President Hans. All right, now once again, my fellow Toastmasters, my fellow Homo sapiens, and my dearly alien. All right, now I would like to invite you with 2 meetings that I'm going to have right now. So first of all, tomorrow afternoon, Thursday, my time, and 1 hour before your time, GMT plus F, 12:30 to 2:30. I am going to deliver my last speech on my pathway strategic relationship on the high performance leadership. So for those who want to listen on what action, on what have I did, let's join me tomorrow and ping me in the WhatsApp down below. I will send it to you guys, and let us be there together and see my last speech performance. And with that, I can say that no more roles, no more speeches that I'm going to take. And it's not really a goodbye to everyone. It's just that the last one for the first time. Now, the second one, the UCTA's Toastmasters Club. UCTA's Toastmasters Club is a student-based club. So if you guys want to see a more weird people like me, a more alienated person like me, yeah, please do join us on 21st 27th August on Friday night, 7 to 9 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m., 7 to 9 p.m. And with that, my fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would like to have you on both meetings so I can see the more happiness are going to be shared with all of you. And with that, back to President Hans.
Thank you, Toastmaster Qaiyum. And next, let's have from Toastmaster Atila.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity, our President Hans. So hello everyone. This is my second time visiting Motivator Toastmasters Club, and I always enjoy how they always manage very well. And okay, so I invite you to come to our meeting, which will be conducted on the next Tuesday. And maybe for some of you that has ever come to METS, we will have our meeting with America on the next Tuesday. So we are inviting you to come. I will be sending the details into the chat box. So thank you so much. Back to you, the President Toastmasters Hans.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atila. Next, from Toastmaster Heggi.
All right, so thank you. My name is Heggi. I am actually coming from Lipo Karachi Toastmasters Club, which is not in Lipo Karachi. Our next meeting is still quite a while. It will be on the 31st of August 2021. It's supposed to be yesterday, but yesterday is holiday, so everybody wants to take a break. And if you are interested to know more about us, you can follow our Instagram at lktc.toastmasters. I will type it in the chat box. Thank you. Back to Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Heggi. So that's all from the visiting Toastmasters, and from me as the president of Jakarta Motivator Toastmasters Club. I would like to announce that our next meeting will be held on the September 1st, in the next 2 weeks. Okay, still in the same Zoom link, and for further info, you can follow our Instagram at Jakarta Motivators. Thank you very much, and I would like to end this official meeting. And I would like to end this official meeting by the sound of a gong. That's all the official session